Last night, as I said, was an ugly night all across this nation. It was an ugly night across this state. We had a number of protests all across the state. New York City, cities upstate. We've seen a lot of disturbing video about the protests, and where I've asked the Attorney General to review the New York City protests and the actions and procedures that were used. I'm going to ask her to include in that review these demonstrations that are ongoing last night, if there are additional demonstrations tonight, and the Attorney General will be reviewing those actions. Upstate New York, we also had actions. We had a significant state police presence all across upstate New York. We have the National Guard on standby. We expect additional protests tonight, and we're preparing for such. Rochester, the county executive, and the mayor asked for additional state police for tonight, and we're going to have 200 additional state police. But look, the big issue is people are outraged, and I understand that. I'm outraged. It's not just George Floyd's killing, although that's enough to outrage a nation. It's George Floyd, it's Ahmaud Arbery, it's Breonna Taylor, all just in the past 3 months. It's 30 years of Rodney King and Amadou Diallo and Sean Bell and Abner Louima, and the same case in states all across this nation, where only the name changes, but the color stays the same. You then had the first press conference by prosecutors looking at the Minneapolis situation that frankly raised more questions than it answered. And the real issue is the continuing racism in this country. And it is chronic, and it is endemic, and it is institutional. And it speaks to a collective hypocrisy. We're very good in this country at telling other people how they should live their lives and how they should act, how we preach a high standard, but we still discriminate on the basis of color of skin. That is the simple, painful truth. But this is a moment for truth. Now, at the same time, it is equally true that violence never works. How many protests have we had? How many nights have we gone through like last night? How many times have we burned down our own businesses, our own neighborhoods, and our own communities? Burning down your own house never works and never makes sense. Burning down your own struggling businesses, people who are trying to bring back the community, never makes sense. It dishonors Mr. Floyd's death. Mr. Floyd was not violent. Mr. Floyd was compliant. Mr. Floyd wasn't even charged or accused of a violent crime. There was no violence. That's what makes the killing more outrageous. When you are violent, it creates a scapegoat to shift the blame. It allows the President of the United States to tweet about looting rather than murder by a police officer. It allows the federal government to politicize what's going on and to come up with theories blaming the left and the extreme left, which only furthers the politics of division. Maya Angelou said, "Hate has caused a lot of problems in the world, but it has not solved one yet."